by this optical delusion that my perception is absolute and correct, and I stand my ground, I remain in my space alone. Remember how we talked about perspectives last week? Remember how we talked about memory, that our memories are fickle, they fade, they change, they're impressionable. And we have the ability to reframe, to see something from a different perspective. How do I let the scales fall from my eyes so that I may see the glittering, shining faces of each one of you, of the people that I meet, the person standing before me, the one who bears the very image of God. You all bear the image of God. Show me your shining, glittering faces. How can we be people who visit that mountaintop, enter the space where God is, and make room for us, that space where God dwells, and return filled by the indwelling of God, organic, flesh and blood and spirit, Shekinah. For this is who God is, one who dwells in. This is how we bear God's image, expansive, generous with our spaces. We do this now, do we not? As we take communion. In a few minutes, we'll be taking communion. Here we occupy the same space, inviting the presence of God, invoke Jesus' Spirit to occupy, as it were, the bread and the wine. And we partake together in a few moments. We ingest the bread and the wine and notice it passing our lips, on our tongues. We swallow the elements and are digested and absorbed into us. And we remember the body and the blood of our Lord Jesus Christ indwells us. This is why we take communion, to remember. And when we come together on Wednesday, I hope you do come on Wednesday, if you are able, 6 o'clock. We remember that we're dust, the earth from which we were formed. That same earth made through Jesus as all things were made. Shekinah. I wonder if the leaders in our denomination would actually be able to come together and listen and give space to one another. One pastor in our conference, we had a meeting on Thursday to talk about the results of the decision. It's going to be taken to the judicial board in April, or end of April, I believe. But one of the pastors said, they spent the whole first day praying and worshiping before they even started talking to each other, and they took a vote. Then they listened to each other. People said what they had to say, and they took a vote, and it was exactly the same. Which to him, and I agree, did anyone listen to the other? If they're going to vote exactly the same, no matter what. Do I go into a conversation, to a meeting with somebody with an idea already in my head? Unwilling for it to change. But we have the power of the indwelling of the Trinity in us to be able to do that and not fall apart if our opinion changes. It doesn't mean that it will, but we certainly will have a fuller view of what we believe and what we see if we open it to each other. And this is how we image God, how we go into the world and show who we are, show the love of God, because we are doing that, we are listening, and we can disagree even. And it's okay, because we love. That's what we choose first, is to love. So as we go into communion together, Oh, I wanted to mention too before we do this. I'm going to do a Thursday at 10 o'clock in the morning Bible study, mountain Bible study, and I've got some of I couldn't figure out the printer very well, so the staples are in a wonky spot, but they're stapled. If you want to do that, I have some copies here, and Nancy will have them also in the office, or you can email me or whatever, if you would like to join us on Thursday morning at 10 to kind of wrestle with what it means that Jesus died on the cross, what the crucifixion is all about. So as we prepare for communion, Celia and Christy, thank you. I'm trying to remember what prayers I have up there and what I'm going to. I'm going to pray this prayer of confession for us to meditate